It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And Murray, who I'm eagerly anticipating his opinion on whether or not Top Gun Maverick took his breath away. Hey, Merman, or are you going by your Top Gun call sign now? Hey, Navigator.
Actually, I kind of prefer Bob.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
I don't know how many times we have to tell you. You have to be the name of your own. You can't steal Bob's name.
But Bob is awesome.
Bob was awesome. Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/filmrageYYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. And you know what? There's a good chance we will, but I can't make any promises. But there's still a good chance. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey, Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
So groovy. It's making you feel groovy.
Yeah.
Just a little, hey? What about you, Brycey? Feeling a little groovy?
No.
Oh.
No grooviness.
He's full of rage.
Apparently.
All right. So, we went and saw a couple of movies this week.
We did.
First one we saw was Bob's Burgers the movie. And it was as to be expected. When you take the Belcher family and put them in any situation, you're guaranteed to laugh. The only disappointing thing about this was some of your favorite characters may not have been included. If you love Daryl, you're out of luck. If you're looking for an Edith and Harold sighting, sorry to disappoint. Gretchen also no shows as well as Gail, which means no Mr. Business.
No, Mr. Business.
But once you get past the fact that it would be impossible to include everyone in the movie, you get to sit back and enjoy the Belcher family. The Belchers are impossible not to root for, and while the film gets a little too convoluted by the end, it is more than forgivable as the story is just a backdrop for the interaction between the lovable characters known as the Belchers. Bob's Burgers the movie was by no means perfect, but it just goes to show you that when you have well-written characters, sometimes that is enough. I was either laughing or smiling through most of this and had a very good time. I just really wished Edith and Harold from the art supply store would have shown up. Oh well, as mentioned, they couldn't have included everyone. Bob's Burgers, the movie, was very enjoyable. It was a very high meh.
Well, you had me going there. You had me going on either side of that thin line. Was it going to be good enough to push it just a little further? But apparently not. Well, did anyone else feel like this started like they were trying to redo Annette from the Sparks Brothers?
What?
The beginning. When
a
they started
little bit,
the
I
beginning.
guess. Yeah, I didn't even, yeah.
Didn't you? I was watching, I'm like, what? Did the guys from Bob's Burgers actually just watch the Annette?
Actually, until you just said that, I was like,
It's like totally was.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Well, to me it did. which I thought was kind of cute. But what the fuck? Did they need a TV cartoon show becoming a musical? But wait, it wasn't really a musical.
Nah.
It was only a couple of songs. So, yeah, back to my original question. What the fuck? Plus, paying $15 to see an extra large episode of Bob's Burgers, which I can normally see for free once I've paid my streaming service, was not what I call prudent spending habits. But I also asked myself, why did I go in the first place? And the answer is because I like the TV show Bob's Burgers.
Yes.
Those kids are just so damn cute. Plus, the characters are all just as much fun. Every single one in it. They're all just absolutely fun. Was it the best cartoon movie that I've ever seen? No. But did I have a good time? And did I laugh at the quick quips and sassy adult-themed jokes? Yes, I did. Is this movie worth paying to go to the cinema for? Maybe on Cheap Tuesday, but not full price Friday. Or just watch it when it comes out on TV, where Bob's Burgers belongs. So unfortunately, as with Bryce, it wasn't good enough to be a Mondo. It was just a somewhat tasty burger-filled meh.
Yeah. It was a good time, though.
It was fun. I always wonder, other than to make money, why they need to put a TV movie of cartoons on at the movies. I just don't understand it.
Yeah. I mean, some are like, I think The Simpsons missed completely. I think this one hit more than the Simpsons movie did.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I still would have given the Simpsons movie a meh because it's the Simpsons and they're fun. So,
yeah, well, exactly.
but it's no South Park.
No, South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut.
It's probably
That
one
is
of the best
Mondo.
movies ever made.
It was fantastic. So I kind of got Bob's Burgers between those two. But I'm
Just
trying to think
like
who-
the meat in a patty in a
just
burger.
Exactly, Jim. I'm trying to think of any other. Those are the only three I can think of off the top of my head that they made into a
I know
feature
they've
film.
made like ones that are more for kids. Like they've done a ton of that.
Yeah, I
Like
guess, but-
whatever that guy Stewie and whatever, not Stewie, not Family Guy Stewie, but anyway, they've made some other ones that are more kids focused. But I'm thinking for adult cartoons, I can't think of any. So if any of our listeners are listening, they're going screaming them all out as you're listening to us. Send us messages.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force made a movie.
Ah, there you go.
It's fantastic.
It's also fantastic.
It is so
South
good.
Park quality.
It is.
But it's also an adult themed show.
It's very adult.
Very adult themed.
And it's so good.
So we also got to go see the movie that one person in this room has been waiting for their entire life.
Only 35 years.
Okay, just 35 years. Only 35 years to waste. Wait. Are you doing your best impression of one of the kids from Bob's Burgers?
Let's get it over with.
So I couldn't believe...
Let the venom fly.
Let the venom fly. Okay, so I couldn't believe how excited I was to see that Vin Diesel and Princess Leia used the laws of physics to defeat the Empire Death Star and believable physics to deliver a never-ending Lord of the Rings ending to bring happiness and balance to the universe. Right? That's what happened, wasn't it?
Something like that.
It
I
was
don't know.
pretty much. Well, that's what it felt like to me. We got everything I expected to see in this film. A basic copy of the original plot. Characters, music, and greasy testosterone-filled characters playing volleyball.
Yeah, they were still sweaty.
Oh, wait a minute. They didn't play volleyball.
Football.
Football, you bet.
Yeah, but they were still sweaty.
They were still grease. I don't understand where all the grease came from, but apparently somebody was on deck to grease them up.
Yeah, it didn't matter where they were. Someone was spritzing them that whole movie.
There was a lot of grease on that. And when they rolled in the sand and they got back up, there was no sand stuck to them.
Yeah,
so
how
that's
is that possible?
It's magic grease.
That is magic.
Now, everybody who knows me knows that I love Tom Cruise. And the biggest problem I have with Tom Cruise, other than his Scientology religion, is that almost every film he makes, every 10th one, he adds to a list of the worst movies, in my opinion, that have ever been made. First, we got Top Gun 1. Then we got Cocktail. Then we got Days of Thunder. And now we have the icing on the cake, Top Gun Maverick. This was painful. and was just another money grab and rah-rah American flag-waving Air Force physics-defying dumbness. The fact that the premise is the best pilots are basically idiots and force-like powers to hit the Mach 9.5 in planes, which are impossible to hit that mark. The important thing, though, is science isn't important. Tom Cruise can do no wrong. Images of planes flying around for half a movie training how to fly again and again and again, and watching people do push-ups to humble themselves is what really matters. Oh, and also, because this movie is terrible, it's a rage.
There you go. And what does Murray think?
Did you get your juice from it, Mur?
Apparently, this is a rage sandwich, then, isn't it?
It could be.
You don't know that.
I know that. I'd be willing to bet my whole week's
Money
paycheck with
on
Jim
that.
that you're not going to give it anything higher than a rage.
Really?
I don't think you liked it. If he hated it, I guarantee you did.
All right, well, stay
First.
tuned.
First,
The facts.
yes.
97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
8.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yes.
Weekend box office, 126 million. Just
biggest
North
Tom
America.
Cruise has ever
Biggest
got.
Tom Cruise opening ever.
Absolutely.
I have not heard a negative review yet until yours.
Oh, interesting.
Just a little context before I begin.
Okay.
There are
Nice.
people who won't like it. If you
Yes.
didn't like the first one, you won't like this one either.
True.
That's
True.
a fact. I have no problem with that. I'm fine with that. This movie isn't for you. Go see the Harry Potter and Hobbit movies then.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll enjoy those better.
I don't want to see those either.
Maverick had me hooked from the opening theme song.
Of course.
The roar of the fighter jets, Tom Cruise on a motorcycle, sun rising over the naval base. Loved it all. This version of Maverick was 35 years older and far less cocky. Basically, it's his one last hurrah. It was a more sensitive and vulnerable Pete Mitchell. His love interest this time, the gorgeous Jennifer Connelly, was so much better. Not to mention more age appropriate.
Yeah.
That was the biggest problem I had with the original. While I thought the new fresh face cast did a decent job, most of their call signs were kind of stupid. Whatever happened to Hollywood, Wolfman, Sundown, Slider? Now we get Yale, Hangman,
Because he's smart, Murray.
Payback, and Fanboy.
Fanboy.
Though, as I mentioned, my favorite new character was Bob.
I got to admit, Bob
Just
was my favorite
Bob.
character.
And I actually didn't recognize him. I had to figure out where I knew him from. From one of my other favorite movies, which of course was Bad Times at El Royale.
Ah,
He was awesome in that too.
Bob is great.
Yes, the plot was predictable. I will give you that. Some of the lines were cheesy.
Yes. The physics.
And-
Don't forget the physics.
And there was a shirtless beach football scene, though sadly only the men.
True. What's up with
Because
that?
there were two females in there as well. But this was emotional drama of this film that got me. Watching Val Kilmer in probably his last film role as Iceman actually brought me to tears. The tributes to Goose by his on-screen son were touching as well. This film was delayed for 3 years, and I think it was released at exactly the right time. Memorial Day weekend. Yes, it was an American patriotic hogwash, whatever you
Rah,
call
rah.
it, rah. But it was a hell of a good time. But it wasn't perfect. As you may have guessed, I had a problem with the closing song
Of course.
by
you
my
did.
least favorite musician of all time.
Oh, no.
Basically, the music equivalent of Ben Affleck.
Ouch.
I'm sure the song was fine, but as soon as I heard it, I got
thought he
up
didn't
and
like it.
left.
Did it almost change your rating of the film, Murray?
It would never have changed my rating, but it definitely dampened it a little bit because I was planning on staying throughout the whole closing credits
And then you ran from
until
the
the music
building.
started up, and I'm like, no, I'm gone.
And then you ran from the building. Ah!
So yeah, it was a 9G thrill ride mondo for me.
Didn't he get to 10.3?
He did.
Not in the fighter jet.
Yeah, but in the other make-believe jet
Make-believe jet. I mean the stealth fighter.
that doesn't exist yet.
And yes, there was no CG. It was actual flying effects.
But not going the speed they said they were going.
So whatever.
Physics. Physics means
they're
nothing.
They're still in them. They're still flying in a canyon.
That is true. They were doing a lot of flying.
It was pretty awesome.
If you like flying, I
didn't even see it in IMAX.
I have to admit, and we'll let Bryce talk, but I was going to say, I actually like this one better than the first one. Back to you, Bryce.
Top Gun Maverick is an unoriginal, loud, obnoxious, and downright silly film that has some of the worst dialogue ever written since the first Top Gun. Don't think, just do. Apparently that is what the writers did when penning this sad attempt at nostalgia. They even, as mentioned, ripped off Star Wars for their climax as they used the Force to blow up the Death Star or whatever they blew up. The movie made me take the highway to the Rager Zone. Right into the Rager Zone. Tom Cruise took me right into the Rager Zone. Highway to the Rager Zone. This was a loud, uninspired, poorly written rage.
We got to talk about.
I should have taken that bet.
You should have, but
you guys
nobody in their right mind
gone to it. You shouldn't even have gone to it.
Murray, we're not called film love. We're called film rage. And here's the thing. Maybe if they completely redid the story and didn't copy Star Wars, Fast and the Furious, and the original, it might have been really good.
I didn't get that.
You didn't get
any of that references.
What? Okay, so
because I was enjoying the film.
The film. Gotcha.
I even enjoyed the ending because it wasn't all about him in the planes. I mean, there was other stuff too. It was almost like a part of a Mission Impossible movie too.
Throw that in. There you go. Which I love the Mission Impossible films. Here's the thing: if you like that type of movie, which you do, and there's a lot of people that obviously also like
97%.
Yeah, 90% of the people who went to it, but people who don't like it wouldn't have gone to see it, right? Like I think the people that go see the Fast and the Furious would also see this movie. The people that liked the last Star Wars or the first three, which all had to shoot the Death Star in the same way, would also have liked this movie. It's you know what? We got to see them all. We got to see Sonic 2. I guess we don't anymore. We're not seeing Sonic 3.
No.
Because we passed a law.
Yes, kiddie
but
movies are
if
out.
it's for adults, we're going to see it. And unfortunately, I agree with you. It's not for you. Me. It's for you.
Yes.
This is good.
So I didn't go with you guys.
That's right.
Because I enjoyed it for 3 days until this day.
Till this day. That's terrible.
I thought it was poopy.
I thought it was also
Glad
poopy.
you guys didn't
I did like Bob, and I did think
you couldn't have paid me to see Bob the Burgers. Because I watched the TV
you
show.
wanted to see the original.
Why would I pay you to watch?
That's
Bob
the only way
Burgers?
you would have got me in a theater to see it.
But I would never pay you.
You know what
to.
the key is to this?
Why would I do that?
In all the movies we saw in theaters,
Yes,
there was a Bob.
that's true.
And that's the real meaning of Christmas.
Whatever.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
That was all we saw in theaters.
Well, kind of.
What? We saw something else?
We did. We also partook in the Calgary Black Film Festival.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And you know what? I have to admit, getting to meet some of the people that showed up, which was unfortunately not as many as we were hoping to.
Really was.
This was a really well put together package of films that we got to see. There was, I want to say, most of them that were in cinema were mostly all documentaries.
Yeah.
So, except for the ones that were maybe playing during the day. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see anything that was playing during the day. We did get all the evening showings for, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, so we were at all 4 evening showings.
Yeah, we saw a lot of good docs.
Yeah, and docs.
And one amazing one.
And yeah, I thought there was a couple amazing. So why don't you
one
say,
amazing one.
All right, one was super amazing. That's for sure.
Yes.
Okay, well, so why don't you tell us what the most super amazing one was?
The Ants and the Grasshopper.
Yes.
That was my favorite film of the festival, and I was supposed to come up with 2, but the rest it's like a 4-way tie for they were all meh.
Yeah. Well. So tell us a little bit about Ants and the Grasshopper, because it was also my favorite film of the festival.
It was awesome.
That's all you want to say about it?
Yeah.
Well, I will remind people.
And the fact that the what's her head was like every time there was something to drive, she would get up there and just start driving it.
Yeah, Anita.
Fantastic, Anita.
Yeah. And I put one of my notes where I put, if Winston can change, so can everyone.
Yeah, we got another Winston.
We got another Winston showing.
Yes.
And I thought that Anita... So Anita...
Winston seemed like a bit of a doofus in the beginning.
Yeah, he was.
Coming around.
He came... That's what I'm saying.
He's coming around.
And this film is all about change. It's about one person,
Yep.
Anita, who is a farmer, and
it's Anita's friend that was driving this stuff.
Yeah. Well, they were both having fun.
They're having fun, but Anita's friend was
loving,
kind of her translator too, and she was every time there was something to drive, she just got up.
She's like, give me that. And I don't think she even had her driver's license, but
she just wanted to drive.
But she just wanted to drive stuff.
Oh, you can drive that? Oh, I was going to get on that and give it a spin. Yeah, she was good. I liked her a lot.
So the premise of this story is
she's
seeing
change.
how climate is affecting her as a farmer and the community in which she lives in. And so she goes over to the U.S. She's convinced
the U.S.
And the first time she's ever been on a plane, to go and in hopes of talking to some both U.S. farmers, but also someone politically.
And maybe change
and maybe get the way they think and do things. And that was part of the joy that came from this film, was the fact that every farmer that she had met in the U.S. was kind of like, well, that's interesting, but I don't see how it affects me. And it was interesting because the things that she was warning them that was going to happen, because this film did take place over maybe a year or two, and they were now becoming affected by the things that she was saying.
Of course, for every Winston that you've got, you got a family that goes, well, it's God's plan.
Yeah, that was that. And she's like, she was Christian herself. Yeah. But she's kind of like, I don't think this is God's plan for us to be stupid. So it was a pretty powerful film.
The thing that was powerful is that it really was, honestly, that Winston segment there where there's like, okay, there's no way that you're going to talk any logic to this kid. And by the end of it, hey, Winston's coming around.
Yeah.
It's like that was some powerful stuff. The fact that he's trying to do good now, and it was all stemmed from this lady from the other side of the world came over and just had a little chat with him.
Yeah,
and it took a while to sink in, but that's the thing, that you plant that seed with some people, and eventually, they're going to come around. And that's why you just got to plant all the seeds that you can, and hopefully a few of them will sprout. Yeah.
So if you get a chance to see this film, The Ants and the Grasshopper, it's a must-see film.
It's amazing.
The other one that I actually really liked,
Powerful Women,
which was, I actually really, really liked this. This one made it for Mondo for me as well, was The Murder in Paris.
It was very, very good.
It was, it's a political whodunit fraught with political intrigue and deceit. Mm-hmm. And this film was probably one of the most fastest-paced documentaries that I've ever seen. I thought that they moved through I think there was so much content. I almost wish that this could have been a little bit more of a docu-series.
Right.
But I loved how fast it moved.
And they jumped right into it.
Yeah, they did. But that's what made it so good for me.
And, I'm with you.
And the woman who's the journalist in this really drove this story through to the end. The other thing that I found it very surprising, which you don't see a lot, is it was a very French and English film, because it had, every time they spoke English, there was French subtitles. And every time they spoke French, there was English subtitles. So
I would like to give kudos, I'm just going to interrupt you for a second.
Yeah, no, do it.
To the subtitles that we saw. The one movie we saw Saturday night, all the subtitles were white, but they were all outlined in black.
Yes.
And it didn't matter where if it was totally white background, you could still read them. If it was a totally black background, you could still read them. You could.
That's how you do.
That's how you do subtitles. Now, the Murder in Paris, not as good. It had the kind of black blocked off, with white on top, which was still okay because at least you could read them all the time.
Yep.
So that is how you do subtitles, so that people can actually read them, so they're not guessing what's going on for a third of the film because there's a light background and they can't read all the subtitles.
Oh, yeah.
So kudos to the subtitle people. I don't know, but I don't understand why everybody in the world doesn't do white subtitles outlined in black, because then it doesn't matter what you put it on.
Yep.
You can read it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
And
You
make
put it
them
on
big
total
enough.
white. You can read it. You
Make-
put it on total black. You can read it.
And put it on bigger on the screen so people can actually read it.
Yes.
Anyway, good point about the subtitles.
Sorry, I just had to say something because
Well,
the subtitles were tremendous at this festival.
Apparently, black artists understand how they need to read when you're reading subtitles. So
Yes.
kudos to that too. So overall, this was a fantastic film festival that we were a part of. And people, please go check out calgaryblackfilm.com to check out their whole lineup. This is a organization that does these film festivals all across Canada. They have one in Halifax, they have one in Toronto, they have one in Montreal, which was the original one, and they have one in Vancouver.
She's also got one in South America, right?
Yeah, I think it was Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to be growing. So anybody who's listening to us now, if you live in Calgary or anywhere in Canada or Brazil, apparently, make sure that you check out Calgary Black Film in your neighborhood and check out some of these amazing films.
Yep.
And if we're going to get all docs next year, I'll be perfectly happy with that also.
Yes.
So there was one opening film, The Thin Line, which was not a documentary, but for the most part, we got a lot of insightful, eye-opening documentaries.
The Thin White Line.
Thin White Line, yes. Or was it just the White Line?
It
was just the White Line.
I don't even remember.
It was The White Line.
I'm sorry, it wasn't.
We go.
It wasn't my favorite film of the festival.
Well, the documentaries were stronger.
Yes.
But thank you to the people from Calgary Black Film Festival.
Yes.
We appreciate being a part of your festival this year.
And really enjoyed ourselves. It was great. And we're hoping that we get a lot
Invited
more
back
people
next year.
Invited next year and a lot bigger turnout next year.
Yes.
It's just like they're growing pains, you know. They'll grow just like, Cuff wasn't built in a year.
Neither was SIF. Neither of the other
wasn't-
great festivals that we live in our city.
So there you go.
All right. Well, and that's what we did a lot last week, but I have a feeling Murray's did some exciting things too. What did you do, Murray?
I worked.
And he got paid.
Got paid.
He works hard for his money.
I wouldn't say that.
He works hard for it, honey.
I wouldn't go that far, but I worked anyway. So yeah, I barely got to see one movie.
What?
Well, I also previewed 7 movies last
That's
week too, but
true.
I can't talk about those, can I?
No, you cannot. But what can you talk about? Sweet, sweet Merman. Oh, sorry, Navigator.
Navigator.
What are we talking?
Ray Liotta,
Ray Liotta.
dead at 67,
That's young, man.
passed away in his sleep. Dominican Republic last week while he was shooting a film. Well, where he was shooting a film.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
While he was shooting. Another Hollywood icon gone too soon. With his smoldering blue eyes and quiet intensity, Ray Liotta specialized in psychopathic characters who hide behind a cultivated charm. He was born in Newark, New Jersey, adopted by a township clerk and an auto parts store owner. Studied acting at the University of Miami. Like many other actors, spent his first years doing television. Started on Another World.
Soap opera.
And some TV movies and short-lived shows. He broke into movies with the comedy Something Wild, 1986.
Oh, yeah.
Which actually garnered him rave reviews. After a few independent films, he played Shoeless Joe Jackson in Field of Dreams.
Yes, he did.
And a year later, he would land his iconic role in Goodfellas. The film's huge success brought him wide popularity and enabled him to get star billing in future films, such as Article 99, Unlawful Entry, and Unforgettable. He worked steady throughout his career, brought his unique style to every project. Yet as much of a badass that he was on screen, from all accounts, he was a genuinely sweet and down-to-earth guy. He always had time for his fans. My opinion, he was the very definition of mesmerizing. He will be missed. That's all I got.
Cool.
Yeah, sweet, Mer. Yeah, he's one of those actors that as he aged, he was moving into different roles too. He wasn't always that angry guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's one he played the best. But I mean, yeah, he had other roles as well. But yeah, 67.
That's so young.
Yeah, as far as I know, he's in good shape. Like, I don't think it was an OD or anything. He just died of sleep. Just sad.
Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we just don't know.
Yeah, I had to take a moment to.
We'll pour one out for you, Ray.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mur.
All right.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
I just plugged my ears for the next 5 minutes.
You don't even know what my rage is going to be, Murray.
What your rage is going to be about.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Oh, what do you think my rage is going to be?
Okay, then you like me.
My rage this week is about Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Not because he made Top Gun, but because he made Top Gun 2. And Tom, I love you. And you should have put out the next Mission Impossible before I got to see this one. That's my rage this week. I wish this was pushed out another 3 years.
Or 3 decades.
Possibly.
Yeah, a lot of people loved it. Just saying.
They did love it. Those are probably the same people who also love Fast and the Furious movies.
I didn't say I hated that one either.
There you go.
This wasn't my kind of movie.
That's right.
Except for the whole cars in space thing. I actually enjoyed it.
Well, this was like Star Wars on Earth.
Whatever.
Top Gun Maverick broke the U.S. Memorial Day weekend box office record. That is sad, and that is my rage.
Period. End of sentence.
You guys are so original.
Well, what else did... so there's more to unpack on that, though, because... Thank you, Bryce. This is the only movie that we really could have seen other than Bob's Burgers last week. So we are now in summer. Almost at summertime.
Well,
we should be seeing... There should be at least 5 films that are out this weekend. And we had a choice of 2.
There should be 3 to 4 films being released every week, and it's not. And that's the sad thing is these ridiculous, awful blockbusters are just
because studios won't do that,
devouring the screens, and it's annoying.
Is it if you were to release like what's coming out this week? The Cronenberg thing. If you released that the same weekend as Top Gun, it would have got destroyed.
There was a time when they would release these blockbusters, but then they'd actually release counter programming for the people that didn't want to watch the crap. Don't want to see it.
No, I get that.
And they don't do it anymore. Yeah. They just don't. And I don't understand what happened to that.
I can tell you why. I can tell you why that is. Well, this is my guess is why that is. My guess is that nobody wants to go up against one that's going to be a blockbuster. And so it's like the other studios now aren't even competing with each other.
It's not even. They're not. The Top Gun Maverick isn't the competition for 90% of the movies.
No, but we're waiting until whatever. There's a superhero movie coming out in June.
Yeah, and you're not gonna release Thor against Maverick.
Why not?
You just won't,
because you don't. And I get that. I don't get not releasing other films against Maverick that are not geared towards the same. As much as you want to think that they're not, or maybe I don't think you care, but Maverick is geared towards the same people that are going to the Marvel movies.
Yes, I would agree.
So that's why you're not releasing those together.
Yeah.
But there are so many films that could have been, and that's probably why Bob's Burgers got released here, because you're not gearing Bob's Burgers towards the Maverick people.
And although there could be people that
there's going to be crossover with everything.
Yeah. But you're not doing.
But there should have been 3 or 4 other, at least 3 other options, and there weren't, and it's dumb.
So obviously there's still a gap from COVID.
And that's the other thing. It's
from
tough
film production
right now. It's tough because there's so many things that were sitting on the shelf, like Maverick, that was sitting on the shelf for 3 years just because they're waiting for a bigger audience.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of smaller films that just sat on the shelf because there was just nowhere to release.
And then there's a lot of Liam Neeson movies.
And apparently there's like just a metric ton of Liam Neeson movies. It's like Taken Part 12.
Yeah.
I'd see that.
I can't believe there's another
know you
Ice
will.
Road or whatever. What is it
Ice
called?
Road Truckers Nissan or
Ice Road
something?
Truckers.
Yeah, Ice Road Truckers
Neeson.
6 is coming out.
Whatever.
Starring Liam Neeson,
Yeah,
who has a particular set of
he
skills.
does.
Driving on ice
He is
roads.
Driving on Ice Road.
He is very skilled.
Ice Road Liam coming to a theater near you.
Hey there, this is Frankie Sparks.
And this is Scott Eisenberg.
We're married.
And we have a podcast called Shoot the Flick.
Every week, Scott and I introduce each other to a new movie the other one has never seen. We talk about it, give our thoughts on it, and also share some behind-the-scenes fun facts.
We want you guys to come along and enjoy the movies with us.
Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Shoot the Flick, and check out our weekly episodes every single Wednesday on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and pretty much anywhere else you can find a podcast.
Come and listen to us now as Frankie and I
Shoot the Flick!
Bet you they went and saw Top Gun Maverick.
Maybe. But you know what hasn't closed?
What's that?
We still haven't closed The Rage.
The Rage?
The Rage is still on.
The Rage is still on? What are we talking about?
The Rage did not subside. We are still raging.
Oh, sorry. I moved on.
We want to keep the rage.
I moved on.
Oh, there we go.
Had enough rage this episode already.
Pulse. Slowing. Anger fading.
There we go.
Top Gun will do that to
Now
you. It
that-
will make you rage.
Our friends
right.
at Shoot the Flick are now contained within the rage. There you go. Frankie and Scott, I love you guys.
Right.
Okay. So, I want to bring up, we sometimes just jump into our list episode, and I think new listeners that may pick us up are going like, what the fuck are they talking about? So, I just wanted to remind everybody to, first off, go to our website, which is filmrageyyc.com, and go to the tab that is called The Lists.
The Lists.
It's very simple. Go to the lists, and on it, you will see 4 different lists. We have the Undoubted.
Yes.
We have the Mesmerized.
Yes.
We have the Doubted. And we have the Repulsive. Can you go lower? That's low. That's real low if you're repulsive. So each one of these lists has rules to be on it. And what we've been doing the last little while, because we've put a ton of people on the Mesmerized list over the years,
Yes.
because we truly felt as a team that all these people are mesmerizing. But what we finally have realized is that it's impossible if you're mesmerizing, which means you take over the screen every time you're on it. And if you're in a movie and you're the most mesmerizing, if you're in another film with another mesmerizing person and they're not as mesmerizing as you, apparently they're not always mesmerizing. Thus, Murray has introduced us to the Walken Off.
That was my idea, was it?
I think so.
I think it was
I
actually
don't think
mine.
it was.
But it's still Murray that delivers the goods. Just like the Navigator.
As soon as Walken got back on the list, I'm like, we're doing Walken Off.
Yeah, see, the problem is Christopher Walken isn't in a movie with every single one of these people.
I know.
I've looked.
But you know what? We're doing the Walken Off now because he's been in the most
We're
movies.
doing the Walken Off until Walken's no longer on the list.
Or
he takes out everybody he can, and then we'll move on to other stuff.
and then we'll go to Frances McDormand, and she'll take everybody off the list.
Or Viola Davis.
That's right. Then they'll take the.
Yes.
This list is going to be tight.
We're trying to tighten it
don't know
up. We'll
about
see
that.
how
That's
that goes.
right. So we and even Murr this week
Yes.
Yes.
got to see
God, dude.
the fantastic film XS Baggage.
Excess baggage.
Sorry, I recommended
XS,
it.
and it had one of Bryce's favorite actresses in it.
Is it really?
Yep, he loves Alicia Silverstone more than any other actress.
Have I brought her up for Repulsive?
No, but the reason I'm doing that is because perhaps we may get to vote on 2 things today.
Okay, well, yeah, after we're done discussing this, I'm immediately bringing her up as repulsive.
Well, no, you can't do that. We're talking about something else right now.
I'm
just
saying
wait
as
your
soon as
turn.
we're done.
Just wait your turn.
Yeah, but I don't want to forget.
No, you'll have to try and write it down somewhere.
Alicia Silverstone
Right
is
now,
repulsive.
We are voting on
Alicia
the film.
Silverstone being repulsive?
No.
I vote yes.
Well, I'm not voting until we talk about the Walken Off, which is
right.
Christopher Walken
Versus Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro.
I love Benicio del Toro.
You know what? I never thought I could love anybody more than Benicio del Toro in anything
I know, right?
until I saw the movie Excess Baggage.
Yeah.
And it was blatantly obvious to, I think, all three of us. Can I unanimously...
Walken wins again.
Walken crushed Benicio.
Well, Benicio had the misfortune of being in pretty much every one of his scenes with Alicia Silverstone.
It's true, but...
She brought down the quality of his acting.
Well,
big time.
but he should have been
He
able
should-
to outshine
he
her
should have
so
been able-
much.
not signed the contract, but he should have.
Here-
That I agree
That
with.
is the thing, Murray. You are very correct.
But the thing is, Walken shouldn't have either, but he was still mesmerizing.
He was Christopher Walken. And he's, you know what it is with him? Is that nobody has as many facial expressions as him. Nobody.
Can I vote Alicia Silverstone is repulsive now?
No, we're not done yet.
Oh.
So Benicio del Toro is officially no longer mesmerizing because he could not take down the Walken.
It's rough, man.
It's
rough.
not. I feel sorry for whoever Murray brings up next.
Well, I'm starting to run out. I seriously am. I looked at pretty much every movie that he's been in, and
Yes.
there aren't too many that are on my mesmerizing list with him.
Is there any left?
I found one.
Ooh.
7 Psychopaths. I believe
I
with
love
Sam
Seven
Rockwell.
I love Seven
Sam
Psychopaths.
Rockwell. No, I don't want to lose Sam Rockwell.
Well, I'm sorry, Bryce. You
your
may
idea,
have
remember?
to.
Oh, no.
I thought that Vinnie Jones was still on, but I couldn't find him. We must have got
He
rid
got
of him.
taken out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I found one with him in it. But yeah, the only one I could find is
Sam
7
Rockwell.
Psychopaths.
You know what? Sam Rockwell's pretty darn good in that. We'll see. I'm just happy to watch 7 Psychopaths.
Yeah.
Finally, we get to watch a good Christopher Walken movie.
Yes. How many bad Christopher Walken?
Oh, man.
You know, if he was in the life of David Gale, he'd be back off the list again, and then we could put a whole bunch of people back on.
Wasn't he in that cat movie you hated too?
Yeah, he did. But what happened was I saw a movie that was worse than that, thanks to Bryce.
Yes, you're welcome.
Which, and I still think you have seen a few movies that I've made you see that is worse than the life of David Gale, which I want you to go back and watch.
Yeah. So to recap, Del Toro's gone. We're watching 7 Psychopaths, where Walken's going to go head-to-head with Sam Rockwell. This is a fair fight, by the way.
Yeah, it's fair.
And
But you know what? Because we also did three billboards outside of Ebbing,
Yeah.
and we didn't all agree in that.
Yeah.
That's why he's still on it,
That's why
and
he's still
Francis
there.
McDormand's still on it.
Yep.
I found another Buscemi movie too, but didn't he already get knocked out?
Yeah, Buscemi's been knocked
Yeah,
out.
because there was actually a 4th movie that he was in it with. So
Yeah.
Yep. Unfortunately, poor Steve.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, and I think that's all we really had to talk.
No, you know what?
yeah, let's move on.
We're not pushing this stupid John Singleton crap either. So we got 2 more things to talk about.
Oh, okay.
First, I say Alicia Silverstone is repulsive. What does anybody else say?
Did you do the legwork for whether or not she's doubted too?
Nah, I didn't.
We should probably do that too.
You just brought it up now. I didn't realize she wasn't on the repulsive list.
Well, you should have done your homework.
Okay, well, I'll do my homework for next time because we're not
we're
cutting
just
short this because John Singleton's getting talked about
Okay.
because
It's been pushed on too long.
yeah, because you keep on saying next week we'll talk about John. You've been doing that for like 47 weeks now.
It's actually been
episode 103.
It's been 46 and a half
Yeah,
weeks
at any rate.
because it was a half week
Anyways,
that we didn't talk
Alicia
about it.
Silverstone repulsive, yay or nay?
I vote yay.
As long as she doesn't talk, she's fine. As long as she isn't smart, she just is a terrible actress.
Oh, she's
Okay,
repulsive.
So what
Yeah,
is
sure?
okay? Repulsive. Good.
I haven't liked anything she's done.
It's
She
unanimous.
is terrible.
And Bryce is going to do all the work next week. You heard it here first, folks.
I'll take a look.
He's doing the work to see if she's also
And
doubted.
you know what I did this week? I did the work on John Singleton.
Nice. So do we even have to talk about it? Like,
Not really, but we're going to.
No, well,
because it is a dumb discussion. He only directed 9 features. The first of which was Mondo, Boys in the Hood. That we can agree on.
that we can agree on.
Okay. And then it was back to back to back Mez, Poetic Justice, Higher Learning, and Rosewood. All of them were good. None of them were great. Meh. So it's end of discussion. But we're going to talk about it anyways
is.
because, Jim, then Shaft was a rage. Baby Boy was a meh. Too Fast, Too Furious was an unbelievable rage. Four Brothers was meh. And Abduction was a Taylor Lautner rage. Not even close to being doubted. Another dumb suggestion based on no research from Jim, who just throws stuff out.
I just wanted to watch more John Singleton movies.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway,
And I had to watch-
You need to at least look at stuff before you just throw them out as doubted.
I saw 3 rages back to back because Too Fast, Too Furious was a rage.
Okay.
Baby Boy to me was a rage.
Okay.
Shaft was a rage. And then I stopped looking. I went, if it's 3 rages in a row, it's a pretty good chance. And then I didn't watch anymore. And I thought, you know what? I haven't seen Rosewood, so I kind of want to see it. But then we'd have to have the discussion. So that's why I wrote them up. And also, you know why? I love it when you get like this.
All right.
I love it. Murray,
Anyway.
isn't this the best moment in film rage history? Seeing his
Singleton,
blood boil?
Rest in peace, and you are not doubted.
There we go. Thank you
Not
for doing
doubted?
all that homework.
He's not doubted? I thought he was doubted.
No, he's not.
That old rages made him doubted.
No.
No.
3 rages in a row.
3 back-to-back mez. If
Yeah.
you got back-to-back mez, you can't be doubted.
Yeah.
You really need to read the rules again, man.
I just don't care.
Well, that's a
There's a lot of people
didn't-
you guys doubt I happen to like.
There you
So
go.
there.
What? No.
That
Yeah.
doesn't even seem possible.
It doesn't seem possible.
You're just talking. You're
No.
telling tales out of
I
school.
happen to love Gerard Butler. So there.
Oh, but he's terrible.
yeah.
Well, your opinion.
He picks terrible movies.
But he's a really good singer.
That's right.
Last week on Rage or Dare, the boys scooped out the 2008 film Tenure from Murray's ever-tasty ice cream bucket of rage. This week, this just in, the boys will not be going back to normal this week. That's right. This week the boys were dared from one of our listeners and fellow podcasters, 2 Idiots and a Dog, to see the 2013 Sharktastic Sharkety Shark film, Sharknado. Let's check in first and see if Tenure will make the boys hot for teacher, or are they going to the principal's office because of their uncontrolled rage?
I don't think Sharknado was a theatrical release, but whatever.
Well, let's talk about the other one first. I had a feeling that might make Bryce upset, but a good reason to watch Sharknado
That
is
is a
always a good reason.
rule.
There's always a good reason to watch Sharknado.
Rules are rules. There is no.
We did,
You mean
but we
like
did
watch-
change.
No shades of
we
gray.
we did actually change
You
some of
mean
that
like-
during
you mean
during
like
the
Black is black, white is white.
You mean like watching movies based on TV shows
yes,
and cartoons?
yes.
Which you broke both those rules this weekend?
no, it was,
No,
it was
that's not a
kids'
rule.
movies or
Kids'
cartoons.
movies.
No, you said TV show ones too.
No, we
That was
didn't.
also a rule.
That was not a rule.
It was.
Well, we
You-
don't watch TV shows on here, but
Yeah,
we
we don't
also
want-
we also opened it up because there's movies only being shown on streaming, so we had to open things up because we actually reviewed things on here that weren't. So I think
Bottom line,
we should vote on it.
It was still a feature.
It was a feature,
That was not that we made a rule.
yeah, but we can unmake the rule because we had to.
Oh.
We opened up the can of worms when we started reviewing stuff on streaming when there was nothing in theaters.
That has
kind of-
nothing to do with this.
Sure, kinda.
No, it doesn't. They're
Sure.
totally separate.
Well,
and we were
yes and
always
no.
going to do streaming from the first when we started this podcast. Streaming was part of it. You
Was it?
You literally put it in the notes at the very first one that we
Okay, we got to now go back and listen to our very first
let's
episode.
Do that.
Okay, hold
Because
on.
you're wrong
we're
again.
gonna pause the podcast right now
let's just
as we go back and rewatch it. And now we're back. No, we didn't.
Yes, you did. You are a liar and a
concur.
cheat.
I second that opinion.
Yeah, there we
Yes,
go.
you're right.
That I was also. All right. Well, what did you think of Tenure this week?
It's gonna really mess up my idea
Oh dear.
because that's all going in.
Nice.
Because I started from the very first part with the introduction, and now there's all this.
Fruha? Well, start it from here.
No,
Effective
it's all going
now.
in.
No, now.
No,
And
Now.
No.
And now.
So Tenure starts. Now these pretzels are making me thirsty.
It's me. It's Jimmy.
See, folks, this is what happens when you have rage in your heart.
And a bulge in your pants.
Tenure stars Luke Wilson. Likeable Luke Wilson. Tenure stars David Kushner. Always funny David Kushner. No matter what this movie is, if you take likable and funny and put them together, the very worst you could get is meh. That is the case here. The film is meh, but it's a very watchable meh. Between Sasquatch Club, Erotic Poetry Club, and a pyramid scheme that involves an erectile dysfunction product called Herb Erect, this is a movie that is impossible to hate. It is, however, a movie that is easy to like. Not love, but like. Like a lot. Tenure was meh.
Oh, well, I guess I'm going to conflict with that because I think, but I don't know for sure, that the people who made this movie were actually trying to make a comedy. I know this.
It was funny.
I know this because they cast David Kushner, and he is supposed to always be funny,
And he was.
but he wasn't. Also, they cast Luke Wilson, and he's also supposed to be funny, right?
He doesn't have to be funny. He just has to be likable. He's
Yeah.
good at likable. Sometimes
Well-
he's funny, and that's a bonus. But mainly, he's likable.
And in this one, he was neither. But
he was kind of
the
both.
timing of the so-called jokes, quote unquote, and the attempts at humor, quote unquote, just fell flat.
Nah.
And I mean completely flat.
Nah.
Pretty much every interaction between every character seemed awkward, but not cute and funny awkward, just badly done awkward. Plus the story is kooky, but not good kooky in a way, or even silly kooky in a way, but a kooky way that makes you want to turn off the movie and pretend you didn't watch it.
I liked it.
But no, I did trudge on. For the most part, the film revolves around a man-child and his best friend, another man-child, who loves Bigfoot. It sounds like it should be good, right?
Yeah,
No,
it was.
but it's not. It's terrible. I swear there can't be another word that could have been the title of this film because they literally said the word tenure every 5 fucking minutes. And that's
That's what it was about.
What's that?
That's what it was about.
Yeah, so do we need to hear that every 5 fucking minutes? It was the script in this was terrible. None of the jokes landed.
Oh, yeah.
It was
I laughed.
Luke Wilson's character was completely flat the entire movie.
He was very
he
likable.
wasn't likable or cute or funny. He was annoying.
No.
And what's with the father figure? Bob Gunter's supposed to be like got Alzheimer's and he seems to remember everything.
That was
It's
the point. He didn't
no,
have Alzheimer's.
He was
He did early onset.
yeah, this movie was terrible. The fact that Bryce liked it just goes to show you
It was good.
he's kooky.
I liked it. I didn't love it.
It's
but
terrible.
I
Murray,
liked it.
well done.
Murray, you failed miserably. This movie was pretty good.
It was awful, Murray.
Pretty
You just-
pretty good.
You are just like Sam the Butcher,
Pretty
delivering
good.
Alice the meat. That was a package well served because it made me rage.
I liked it.
I hated it. So, next week we're going to watch Sharknado,
But it didn't get released in theaters.
but we got paid to see it. So,
That's dumb.
I know.
No, it's not.
Well, did you hear who dared us to see it? 2 idiots and a dog.
So you can go blame the dog.
That's right. Their dog's really cute, by the way.
Okay.
It's the dog's fault.
I'll watch it, but I don't. It's
Are you
it is
seeing-
a slippery
Slippery
slope
slope.
once you start breaking
He just
rules.
doesn't want
Next thing you know,
I like it. I like
next
his.
thing you know, we're gonna be
I like his
shooting up
attention.
meth and robbing banks and
Thanks, huh? Meth, huh?
I it's a slippery slope.
I like slippery slope, especially if I'm wearing my Super Sliders snow skates.
I don't know what other laws we'll be jaywalking and
I did that to get across the street.
That's right.
to your place tonight.
That's right.
What else? Tell me what else I can
don't
break.
I don't break rules.
Speeding.
It's true. He's a bit of a rule breaker. I'd sped here too, by the way. I was late, so I had to speed here.
No, you didn't have to speed.
Talk on the phone.
I'd like to speed.
No,
What's the line from
it's
Top
called
Gun,
a
Murray?
speed limit.
Feel the need for speed.
And we couldn't end on a better note.
Oh, I forgot to include my favorite line from Top Gun Maverick, which I'm going to include now.
Yes, please do.
Hey, Maverick, time to do some of that pilot shit. Which is a direct line from the original.
Wow.
Spoken by his on-screen son. Just saying.
I feel the need for rage. Thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage family you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey from The Nerdy Photographer, the voice of Rager Dare. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, subscribe, and send us an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see a terrible movie and pay us to see it. And you know, it sounds like we're just going to break some rules and do it.
Right.
But no matter what you do, please, 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 make us rage. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.